Shalom. Today on Misnomers in the Torah, we're going to talk about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. There's a lot of misconceptions as to what the philosophy of the day of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is. On the one hand, it's a festival, so we would think that it's a day of happiness. Yet we see that that's not the case because there's no Hallel. On a day of happiness and festival, like for instance on Hanukkah or on Shavuos or Sukkot or Pesach, we make sure to recite the Hallel. But there's no prayer of Hallel. And the reason for that is because Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are truly days of fear and awe. We're going to discuss later next week about the idea of simcha on Yom Kippur, of happiness on Yom Kippur. But it's important to note, a lot of times we think that there's no concept of fear in the Torah, or fear is a lower level, or it's something to be avoided and grown out of. It's not true. There is a concept of fear in the Torah. There is a concept of fear of God in the Torah, and that is what we must have on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The stakes are very high. Our entire lives are at stake here. We're approaching God, and we're asking God to judge us. It's not that God is judging us. No matter, we're asking God. We're approaching God and say we want to be judged. And the reason we do that is because we want to have a greater relationship with God, a providential relationship. We want God to be involved in our lives. So we approach God and say, God, look at our actions. Now, at the same time, it's a tremendous act of arrogance to say, look at our actions. And that's where the fear comes in. The fear of us standing before God and saying, judge us, please. That is a day of fear, a day of awe, a day that has to be taken so seriously. And so the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah and the 1 day of Yom Kippur, those hours are days they're an opportunity, but they're also a day of fear. And that's the attitude that we must have no matter what we've heard in the past. Shalom.